Hello, my name's Roy, aka Lost&Found Oz, as in Australia. I am a Psytrance producer and I have decided to start making YouTube tutorials. This is my first ever YouTube tutorial and I have decided to do one on a Psytrance kick and bass. And here's what it sounds like. Yeah, if you like the sound of that, then please like and subscribe and follow along. So first thing we are going to do is grab a kick 3 and a Serum 2. And let's get straight into it. I've already got some MIDI here. First thing I'm going to do is drag the click straight up to around 10K. This just gives it a really nice click. 10K seems to be a bit of a sweet spot for Psytrance, just depending what style you're going for, obviously. And then I want a fair bit of energy around that 2 to 1 kilohertz mark. So that's why I've put the pitch around there. Just going to drag the volume up. So if you take one thing away from this video, I want it to be the timing of the kick and the timing of the bass. And this is how you find out how long it should be for the tempo of your track. So you can actually tell how long we're going to set our kick for this tempo. If you have a look at where I'm highlighting, bottom left-hand corner, it says 210. That's 210 milliseconds. So here it's 105. Here it's 105 again. So that means that we're going to set our length just over 210. So we can trim off the tail at the end and it'll be around 210. We're just going to trim this end bit off, leave it for now, and come back and dial it in when we get our bass working a bit better. I just set the kick's length at 192 milliseconds. I'm not really going to concentrate too much on making the most awesome kick in the world right now. What we've got at the moment. Yeah, I just want to get something solid to start off with, and then we can get our bass going, and then we can dial our kick in from there. That's the workflow I usually like to do. The next thing I'm going to do is start carving out the mids of the kick. I'm going to do this in the amp envelope and give it that classic fishtail looking effect. Not really looking at the shape too much here. Trying to get something that's okay to work with so we can start working on our bass and seeing what flavor of kick we need to make. Just going to bring down the lows a little bit. That little bump I'm leaving should be around the 100 hertz area. What it looks like in span. I definitely like a bit more of a bump there. And I'm going to lower it here a bit. It's also definitely far too clicky at the moment, but we'll fix that up in a second. So let's get our bass MIDI in next. Let's do F sharp, as that's a pretty common key for Psytrance. Just going to shorten the notes just a little bit and bring the first note's velocity all the way down to 1. Bring the random phase down to 0. So how we're going to set it up is we turn on filter 1, send that to filter 2. Make sure that our oscillator A is going into filter 1. And then we're just going to turn off filter 1 for now and work on filter 2 until we're happy with it. Minimal drive, very minimal fat. I've seen lots of tutorials where, in my opinion, it's too much. This kind of takes away from the cleanness of Psytrance bass if you use too much drive or fat. So once again, we're seeing how long this note goes for. Checking the bottom left-hand corner, it says 105. So in the decay. I actually set it to 105 here, but you should set it slightly shorter. Turn the attack down, turn the sustain down. Usually I like to start with about -8 decibels and just make it a bit more clicky. So just hold Control and drag it over the envelope 2 and it'll copy it for you. Drag that straight onto the bass. Pull down the envelope a bit and turn down the octaves. And this is what we've got. Nothing special, but just wait. Psytrance bass is just in the very fine tuning of these envelopes here. Mainly the envelope of the filter decay and the sustain and decay of the volume. So I'm just going to keep playing with these knobby knobs until I'm happy with what I hear, and then I'm going to worry about the phase issues and have a look at that from there. But I'm just going to trust my ears to start off with, keep playing around and have a bit of fun. All right, that'll do for now. Let's have a look at the waveform. As you'll be able to see, this is just a pure sine wave at the moment. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Apparently most of the bass you hear at the big festivals and on the big speakers is a pure sine wave. That's what I got told anyway. But now we're going to work on our kick. And the next thing is to start dialing in the body of the kick. So I'm writing in the key of F sharp at the moment, and I've found after a fair bit of playing around, you get these nodules here on F sharp, and you get them all on the same note. It seems to work. So I'm just getting them all, sliding them left and right instead of up and down, and using that to control the timbre of the kick. You'll see what I mean. As I slide it more to the right, you'll hear that part of the kick have more presence. I hear that sub as I slide it to the right. And then if you slide things back in the opposite direction and slide them to the left, they'll kind of lose presence in that area because it's not hanging on that frequency for as long. And then see here, as I push it back to the left, it becomes a bit more subtle. And yeah, that's all got to do with how long it's actually hanging on that set of frequencies for. I just want a bit more of a bump in that low end, and I think we're good for now. I'm just trying to achieve a bit more of a bump in the low end, around the 60, 50 hertz mark. I'm just trying to achieve this by adjusting these nodes in kick 3 here, and just trying to get it to take longer to go from 200 hertz to 50 hertz. And then by it taking longer to get there, it's sitting in that range for longer, therefore giving it more volume. And I hope that makes sense. That's the best way I can explain it at the moment. Pretty much done working on the kick for now, and then we'll dial our bass in again. All right, let's get this bass dialed in now. What we're going to be doing is a bit of phase rotation using the diffuser filter. As you probably heard, it's similar to an all-pass filter like Saturn or Pro-MB or Disperser, but this is Serum's version. And it's nice that it's all in the one plugin. You don't have to slap anything on afterwards. So just have a look here what it's doing to the phase when I turn it off and on over in the LFO tool. And this is due to something called phase rotation. Definitely something that I plan to get into, just not in this video. But essentially it's taking the fundamental and pushing it a little bit further along in time. But let's just get into how to set up this diffuser filter for now. I'm just setting this filter frequency to taste. Turning up the resonance equates to a very rubbery kind of bass effect, and the stages is probably one of the most important aspects. But usually around 3 to 6 stages works pretty well. And the cutoff is just a matter of taste, so as you've probably noticed, it sounds very machine gun, grooveless type of bass. So to fix this, we're gonna use our MIDI programming in the velocity we did earlier and drag the velocity over to the volume. I'm then just using this curve to finer adjust the volume of the velocity. And then we can use our curve here to control that even more. Now I am just playing around with the click of the volume envelope. Have a look over to the right in the LFO tool. The phase is looking really good to me, click's looking good. I'm just trying to get the whole thing a little bit more even. The reason why I'm looking for this evenness is I like my basses to be nice and sustained and open, and this is achieved by carefully adjusting both envelopes, the volume envelope and the bass filter envelope. And now we're just going to group them together so we can have a look at how they're working and interacting with each other. I'm going to turn this bass down a little bit. I always like my kick to be more powerful than my bass. And as you can tell there, probably by looking at the readout 9.41, they are working together pretty well without even looking at the oscilloscope. As you can tell, there is a little bit of a peak there at the end in that first bass note overlap, so this is why making the kick ourselves is really, really handy. We're going to be able to fix this super easy, and I'll show you how in just a second. I'm just making this kick a little bit less intense. So yeah, what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to phase align the kick and bass a little bit nicer, just mainly using my ears for this, but I have the oscilloscope up so you guys can see what's going on. And then I'm looking at where it's peaking, where the kick and the bass is meeting on that second 16th. And just going to pull that down in particular just a little bit, as you can see on the oscilloscope. And you can't really do this with kick samples very easily without kind of stuffing them up. That's why making your own kick is so good. You can keep just rotating the phase and playing with things like I'm doing right now until you get something that works really nice. Every track that I've analyzed that sounds really good. You look at the phase correlation of the kick and bass and it's pretty much immaculate. Another thing that's really good to look at is when your kick and bass are in a group channel, just have a look at how they're peaking together in the decibels. You can see here how the kick and bass working together is actually not adding any extra volume to how loud the kick is already. The group is minus 10 dB and the kick is also minus 10 dB, which means they're working together very well. So let's have a listen to how the new bass and kick sounds with the rest of the song. If you've made it this far, then thank you for sitting through my whole first ever YouTube video, and please like and subscribe for more. Thank you.